What's up, guys? It's day number 13 of quarter three of 90 days, and I've got a good one for you. We missed yesterday. I'm going to go into what happened when I was out in Kerrville helping out because of the flooding, and just some really awesome thoughts that I've been having, and some great things when it comes to like spiritual patterns that I've been noticing in my life. The same patterns I'm experiencing it in meditation practice, in church today, and in building social skills. Also, going to go over a quote from Warren Buffett about problems, and some really good insights in how to tackle problems in our lives. And then, I've really just been digging into some books and learning, and I've got a new one I'm reading that I'm excited to share with you. And with learning, it's only because that I've really addressed Maslow's base hierarchy of needs. Being 37 years old, it took some time to realize what I wanted and didn't want, and having the base of Maslow's hierarchies is opening up so much opportunity and creativity in my life. I'm excited to talk about that, and and check in on the usual, like where we're at with weight and fitness. So I didn't track my weight yesterday, and I weighed myself today, and I'm at 180. So about back where I started. I'm giving myself grace. I'm not beating myself up for it. We should never do that, but it's important to keep tracking it. And so keep tracking the weight. Worked out still yesterday, and I'm feeling in some of the best shape of my life anyway. So yeah, please like and subscribe to this. I'm stoked that there's people who are paying attention and that are watching this and getting value. And this is just kind of a document of where we're at on the journey, and some of the exciting things that we're going through. So I've touched on Maslow's hierarchy, and the base of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is that you have your food and your shelter all taken care of, and money. And for the first time in since I made really good money and then just did nothing, it took a while. I mean, we're talking like year or two before I felt like I had that this covered and I could totally relax. And I may have brought it upon myself. When we're going through tough things in life, we can have a positive outlook on things. And one of those positive outlooks is like, why did I bring this on myself? What is this happening for me? And what am I supposed to learn from it? And also, there's more going on at play. And I think that God puts us through challenges for reasons that we don't even know. I mean, life isn't fair. There were hundreds of people that lost their lives in that flooding 2 hours southwest of me, and they didn't deserve that, right? It's a terrible tragedy, but in in the Bible, we learn that, and in scriptures, that there's something greater. There's something great glory going on, and that we can be a part of it. And so we're gonna have times in our lives where it's like, I don't understand, why this is happening to me, but we don't have power over some of those things that we've been given, and all we can do is the best with what we have. And you look back, talk to any successful business person. A lot of times in those darkest times, that's when they were forged, like their attitude for life and like what they wanted to accomplish were in those times. So whatever we're going through, there's a reason for it. And when things are good, I mean, that's when the least of the lessons are learned. I'm sorry, I'm kind of rambling. I really want to get into this and get in the zone. Maybe I'm a little rusty, but let me just zone in and get here and be here with you guys. I'm reading this book right now, And because I've addressed Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I'm just like gobbling up information. And I'm seeing this pattern of all these authors. Yeah, they and all these people who accomplish something in business, they saw it in their mind first, and then they accomplish it. So when I'm reading these books, stories of businessmen who and what they went through, you can see this pattern of like what they really thought about and what they wanted. They figured out a way to get there. And, you know, it was only because of those tough times that I went through that I either brought on myself or God wanted to put me through, that now I have like a newfound hunger in desire to like understand these concepts and to never go back to it, honestly. Like if I didn't go through, what it felt like to have zeros in the bank account, year, 2 years ago, not that long ago, I wouldn't be in this place that now that I've dealt with and like addressed that state of survival and scarcity. So if you're watching this, though, and you're going through a hard time, there's something that we get to learn that we will never repeat that pattern again. And so I'm devouring like some of these books, and this one here, along with a lot of the like YouTube content on having an online business, it's so powerful to hear someone who's made it through things. And this author here, he dropped out of college. That's a common trait that I'm noticing, that the education system in college in particular isn't preparing people for the world we live in today. And if you're somebody who went to college and then you're struggling to get a job, or your degree like just isn't benefiting you, don't be disheartened. That's what I have to say. All the information is out there for you to figure out what it is you need to do, the person that you need to become, if you're going to experience like the dream that you have in mind. So it's really fun, like in this expansive learning experience I'm going through, to seek out people and stories that fill in the gaps and help me to understand who I need to be and what the process will look like to get there. And we have this unique soul, right? Like the lost youth #1 block, to lose your mind and to find your soul and to live in alignment with that. And everybody's is different. So the way that Andrew Wilkinson went from being a barista at 21 years old to selling his first company for $7 million when he was like 27, that's his story. And one of the things that I'm getting out of this book, and it's really, really great when you study people who have accomplished these things, is that like they are no different than me. And if anything, some of the things that I learned about Andrew in this book, I kind of laugh at. I'm like, that, like, I would never do that, or it just makes me feel like if this guy can do it, then I can too. And everybody who has success, like once you start taking these risks and seeing rewards and expanding your life, you never look down on somebody for going after it too. And he'd be the first to say, like, I'm nobody special, and if I can do it, you can too. I've had numerous mentors and examples express that exact thought. And when you're feeling like, I don't know, like if I can do that, or you feel like some form of imposter syndrome, like that desired result seems like something that I'm not, know that they had to go through the same process that you went through, and if they can do it, why not you? And I'm actually blitzing through it. Looks like I'm 2/3 the way through this in like 3 days, and really loving it. And when I finish it, I'm moving on to another business book that Ryan Clogg, an internet marketer with a YouTube channel, recommended. So really good book here. I recommended The Iconist in one of my previous videos, and here's one about business, about a guy who started a web design agency company, and in his journey to getting there, and how he through the Lost Youth, block number 5, he crawled before he walked before he ran, and if he can do it, then you can too. All right, we're about halfway through this video, and I've got 2 more topics I want to talk on. The one is that I got to go to Kerrville yesterday, and I got to see the effects of the flooding they had. Right now, there's like 120 or so people that have been found that have passed away, and there's like another 120 that are still missing. So it's a sad experience, and I feel it really heavy. I feel, especially as I've read some of the articles and the accounts, empathy for what these people have gone through, and that's a testament to how we are all one. We live in this dichotomy of being mortal and being an individual, a Landon, and then also being connected to everybody else. And that was a concept that I couldn't fathom, and it's still something I seek to understand. But we're experiencing that. That's why it's hard to understand, because it's a lens with which we view the world. We view the world as an individual entity, but also connected to everybody else. It's something that meditation is teaching me, and it's something that, by feeling empathy is a sign that we are connected to everybody else. And that's a very spiritual concept that you'll find in spiritual teachings, in the Bible, at church. And when I was out there, I was doing a roof, not on the way there. And so while my roof was going up, I went out to Kerrville. And man, just seeing like everybody rallying, united to help out in this disaster, it's humbling. It gives me like a lot of connection to humanity. It makes me very motivated too. Like here, it reminded me when I was out in Kerrville of why we do the things that we do. It reminded me of why I want to take care of myself and my finances and my base Maslow's hierarchy. Because here are all these people, like lives lost, and I have an opportunity to still be here and to like carry on a mission where these other people don't get to anymore. And I'm doing my best to describe it. And it was, it's a powerful experience to go up to homes that had been devastated and ask them if they needed help, and to do what I can do, which is make estimates and connect them with the right people to do the repairs. And that is a very core principle of business, right? Is we too often we get lost in the like me. What's like what do I get out of this? And that is a bad frame to come at starting a business, because all a business is, the more I read about these people's stories and learn, is it's alleviating pain of others. It's assisting other people to get from point A to point B. That's all it is. And until we can get outside ourselves, like until we can be from this place of comfort in our own skin, so much so that we can stare at the reality around us and look at how we can help, until we can get to that point, I think that's one of the reasons that I've struggled in some of my business up to this point. And like doing something selfless and serving like that, also it just gave me like so much like feeling and energy. It's something that I've been lacking, maybe because I was just doing things for myself. But it takes a real weight off your shoulders when you start doing things for other people. So that's what my experience taught me out there. And I got a chance to go down to the river where the water had washed away one of the bridges, and someone had put up an American flag. And I'm only a few miles downstream from the camp where 20 or 30 young girls lost their lives when they were taken into the water. And I was thinking about how some of them may have flowed past that point, and just felt very a very reverent, very like sacred kind of like connection. I don't have too much else to say about that. Just take advantage of opportunities to help other people, and that'll kind of remind you why you're here, alive. A lot of people feel maybe unseen, or they feel like life is pointless, and it's when we go internal that we can find answers. And so those experiences of helping are a great way to be able to come inside ourselves. And that brings me to like really this like really fiery point about problems we face. And I got this quote from this book. It's a quote by Charlie Munger, I believe, who said that when you understand the scope, or when you understand how big a problem is, that's a problem half solved. And I think that's a really like positive, liberating way to look at the things that we face, because sometimes the problems just seem like so insurmountable that we don't even know where to start. And so, like, I'll give you an example of a couple problems that I was thinking about, and in trying to understand how big of a problem they was and what it was going to take to fix. And so two of the biggest problems that I have faced have been having enough money, and then also doing work that I love. And those are two problems that, at face value and due to programming that we get growing up, that seem like they're mutually exclusive. And the key here is finding those problems, or is understanding how much effort it's going to take, how big these problems are, to have money and figure that out, so that you can have the life that you dream of. And then what is the satisfying work that I can love doing? And when you can find the answer to that, and it's a big problem, it's something that takes up so much of my thought processes and my prayers and my study and my contemplation. But I say this a lot, and I don't say this lightly, that every prayer and request that I have with true burning desire, and this is like, I spent years being religious, and one of the reasons that I had to leave and rebuild my faith is because I wanted it to be in my core. And my faith is being built in real time, that I can face a problem and I can ask, help me solve this. What do I need to do? Where are the answers? How big a problem is this? And help me figure it out. I want to do work that I love, work that I would that is a game to me. Games are fun. And I've never had work in my life before that I would stay up and wouldn't even go to bed. I've never experienced that. I've had some things that I could do all night long and that I found fun. But I haven't been able to find something, and I've done work that I've made money and been well off. But my prayer in prayer inside of me, in asking for answers, in praying to be help to be sensitive to intuition, is I want to do work that I love. And I hear that this exists and that people do this. And so now my mind is racing of oh, what is it that, what are problems that DJs face to getting to a DJ who makes money and who has an impact on the world and is good at his craft. That's something I like. A problem I see is people's social skills. they've really like gone downhill, and there's a lot of lies out there, and they don't know what to believe, and they don't know where to go, and they want to have better connections and with friends, with business associates, and that's a problem, and that's something that I seek to get better at every day, with the hope that maybe that could be a business that I can share with people. And so that's um, my testament to my, because of the challenges that I faced, finding my soul's purpose and building better connections with people. I'm very cerebral, and finding that a way to be more in my heart and out of my mind uh, has drawn me towards these things. And I'm so grateful for the challenge it was to get there, honestly. Like, otherwise I might have just, if the business I was doing 2 years ago took off, like, I'd be in a way different spot, without the same like desire to get there, to get to my goal, and to have work that is something that I'm just addicted and passionate about, and something that I can give and be of service, because that's when I feel energy, and that's when that like I could just go and go, and I've never really had that before. And I'm grateful on that last point that I'm finding a spiritual practice. When you're really in your head, it can be hard to find and know God, and your purpose here on earth, like to truly know. Like, I prayed many times in my past, like for belief and faith, and it didn't really come easily. I guess I'm one of those that had to like go through the dark, and to feel ground up, and to feel like in the depths, to then the depths of life, and a feeling of sorrow and sadness and a lost youth. I had to be that, to like find these answers. And I hope this is coming across really genuine and heartfelt, guys, because um, that's what really matters, is that I truly believe it, that I'm not parroting anything else, and that I'm speaking from Landon, from his soul, from like my own experience. And I hope this gives light to whatever you're going through, and inspires you to keep on going. We've got 70 more days or so of this Q3, and we can do anything. If he's done it, we can too. If you want to be a billionaire, you can. Someone else did it. uh, you know and on that, just have a wonderful night. And when you go to bed tonight, I hope that you can experience that sincere prayer, and know that we're all in this together. We're one family, and I feel what other people are going through. I went through my own hard. Everybody's hard is the hardest they're ever going to go through, and whatever hard that you're going through too, there's a reason for it, and it's for you to figure that out. And I hope you can just enjoy it, because that's where it all starts. This is if I'm enjoying the journey, and we never know when it's going to end. Life's not fair, but it's a beautiful process. So good night, everybody. Lost youth out, lost youth forever.